All right, rant time. What's up, people? VancyX89 here, and hopefully, this mic here in the corner is actually going to pick it up. I would use the built-in microphone in the MacBook Pro, but if this thing starts running hot, I don't want the audio to start getting distorted or anything. Uh, okay, so I was watching Fox 26 News just a little while ago. I don't know. I do not watch the news all that much anymore for like obvious reasons. Anyway, yeah, yeah. Think what you will, but yeah. While they were talking about upcoming stories, they brought up how ex porn star Chrissy Moran turned her life around. In an upcoming story. You know how they do. Bait you, and then you have to like sit through the rest of the program till they get to the story that you want to hear. Okay, so basically, what happened was she was sexually abused growing up. Then she ends up going into the adult entertainment industry, porn. And it actually became very, very hard for her to actually get out of it. There was things that she didn't want to do, but she had to do them to further her career. You know, the reason why I sound so uninterested in it, despite the fact that, quite frankly, that was the whole reason why I even bothered to look into the story. Hey, think what you will of me, but hey, I'm 23. Yeah, shit, what? Um, but that's not the point. I'm not perving out here. What I am talking about is, well, the fact that, okay, good, she found God. She is a born again Christian. She retired in 2006, apparently. Um, good, good. Seems like that's actually what she needed from the gate, instead of just plain, doing whatever. Uh, and yet they kind of went off in several different directions as to like what it was that they were trying to talk about. Basically, her finding God was like pretty much like an afterthought for the whole story. The whole story that they really actually wanted to talk about was um, more as to how um, children can go wrong without a loving, supportive, influential parent in their life. That's pretty much where they went. That was like the very last damn thing that they said. And yeah, that's true. But um, you just had to bait us out with that, huh? Okay. All right. That's fine. Um, uh, but, I kind of wanted to, like, touch multiple bases here. Maybe steal a base or two. It doesn't matter. Basically, and yeah, my teeth probably look like, mangled, but, whatever. Also, my hair is just grown out. I would have gotten it cut and then I got sick and whatever. But that's not the point. Rant time. Me talking about things that need to be talked about, at least as long as they're on my mind. Basically, and yeah, if you're probably trying to look at my eyes, you're going to see the glare, and it's probably going to piss you off. This is usually why I do most videos without the glasses, but now I'm just, randomly going every damn where. Okay, so concentrate, man, concentrate. What this is if you go through anything that's traumatic, more than likely you're going to try and hold on to something. It doesn't matter if it's getting a shit ton of piercings or tattoos, drinking, smoking, doing all sorts of fucking drugs, having all sorts of wild sex with random people, turning to prostitution or the more extravagant version of it in the porn industry. It seemed more like they were trying to like paint the porn industry in a bad light. Now, maybe back in the 90s, but shoot, considering now that, the talent, and former talent who have now become like CEOs and producers and directors and stuff. Considering they run it now, it's kind of a different game. But that's not the point of this whole rant. The point of this rant is basically on being human and how it shapes you and how things happen. Like I said, yeah, you go through something, you end up swallowed in vice if you didn't already have strong religious beliefs, and in some cases that happens even if you do. It all depends on the person and the choices that they make. So, there's that, and then there's a lot less people could um you know, a lot more children could actually could actually be set straight if there were more devoted fathers in their lives. Okay, that's kind of right. If their fathers were in their lives, that's not necessarily true. I come from the fucking ghetto, okay? I didn't necessarily grow up ghetto, but I have plenty of associates who were. All the freaking neighborhood kids and this and that and this and that. My father died just before I turned 14, you know, but that's on a completely different level. In fact, I let that crap turn inward. I was just pretty much on my own, even though, I had my big sister and my mom with me. You know, so I don't know. I just didn't want to make friends. I didn't want to talk with people. Still kind of don't, but yeah, I'm 23 now. That's not the point. The point is, because I just really went off and rambled. I don't know. This just irks me. This issue is just absolutely everything right now. It kind of goes back to sometimes just having them there isn't going to mean that they are going to be there. It doesn't mean that they're going to be the man that you expect them to be. They're not going to necessarily be a father if they were not father material to begin with. So it goes back to oh, guy gets a girl pregnant. Oh, no. Oh, you gotta marry that girl. No, it's your responsibility. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. And then guess what? Some guys actually lock down. They actually straighten up and fly right. They get right. That doesn't always happen. Instead, what happens is the guy is cold. He's resentful. He doesn't want the child. He never wanted the child. And he sure as hell didn't want to stay with that woman. And so instead, he turns to drinking or whatever. He's abusive or he's negligent. And, they turn out bad anyway. So what was the point in that? What was the good in that? I can't see it. It just doesn't make any sense to me that, you try and go with that. But that's the old world mentality. That's that old school sentiment. And quite frankly, new century, new way of doing things. Granted, a lot of people are way more promiscuous and, loose and just fast and free with all their crap, and it just goes everywhere, and it's not all right. But there are some new values that actually are legit. And that's actually what I'm pretty much trying to talk about in comparison to old world values like that. You knock up a girl, now you gotta marry her. Now you gotta do right by her. Hell, the woman is better off without your sorry ass if you're not actually going to contribute anything. That's pretty much it. There's no point. Seriously. If you know anybody, or if you are a single mother, or know anybody who is a single mother and you've seen her roughing it and she's actually been surviving, then by all freaking means, there's your friggin' proof. Hell, you've had widows that actually had to take care of their children on their own or with their sisters or, maybe a brother or their mothers or whomever. Women are resilient. That's one of the things that I admire about women is that they actually do have an underlying strength that when trying times come, they actually push forward. I'm not saying that men are weak, but dear God, I mean, human resiliency is just absolutely amazing. Maybe I'm still a little, shaken by watching like the one night only 25th anniversary performance of Les Miserables, which actually was 2010, but they were showing it earlier. When is today? November 28th of 2012, like this morning, and then that was like the sneak peek of what's going to come on tonight, and it did come on again tonight, but I didn't watch it because, well, other things. So, that kind of shook me there because look at that. Despite the adversity, despite all of the turmoil, the trials and tribulations, their crucible. There I go taking a line out Arrow from tonight. Yeah, I watched that. What? All that leads to just some amazing resolve. And these people actually can manage to hold on and if they really believe it, push through. If they actually make an effort to do something. And that's the one thing that actually gives me hope for humanity, despite all of the bullshit that you see nowadays on the internet, with all these internet tough guys, all these fucking bullies, all of this ridiculousness and the absurdities that you've been seeing on like reality TV shows and this and that. Despite all that stupidity, there still are good people. And I mean, seriously, for real, I am not joking, I am serious. I actually had no hope in humanity. I'm not sure when this happened, but I definitely lost hope in humanity. That's not necessarily the case. You can't just generalize like that. Even though my entire rant was just generalization. But you can't live your life doing that. It's like those stereotypical older groups that always think that us in the younger generation, people in our early 20s and the teenagers are always wrong and we don't do this and we don't do right and this and that and this and that. You got to remember that it's been like about 60 years since you were a damn teenager. Things have changed. Granted, yes, they become old and gray and jaded and maybe even bitter, but come on. It's not even like that. And there they go, turn the TV up and shit, and I'm trying to make a video. Whatever. I don't pay for the internet, so I can't really say anything about it. But yeah, it's just absolutely amazing. Although, going back to the original point, the root of what caused me to do this video was if you're going to make this story, which turns out actually had a different pretense, you might as well should have went for that, even though you didn't even really put a whole lot of time into it. They might have in terms of producing the story, but it just didn't really sit well with me. It didn't feel right. Because you touch base on like three separate topics about the potential exploitation of the adult entertainment industry, the human condition and how young people can be so easily swayed when they're already damaged, like Chrissy Moran was, and three, just plain how just child development and how their mentalities can be changed and shaped based on the influences that they do have in their life, based on the environment in which they grow up in. And it kind of irked me that they do that. Then again, it's Fox News. But, I'm not going to be ranting about that. Everybody has their opinions on things, and that's actually what makes us human. And it's great. Although, see, the thing about opinions is, well, with that's a whole other rant video because I don't want to go on for like an hour like I've been doing With like my Nightmare on Elm Street review and that other video that I did with One Beast Rap. Expect us to do something else like that at some point when we get time. But, just kind of like think about the things that I've said. If you manage to find any moments of clarity, or just leave a comment. I'd really actually like to see some discussion going on about this because not a lot of people really actually consider, the children in the situations. You see all these portrayals on TV about the parents arguing and stuff in front of the children. It seems like an exaggeration, but no, there really are people that do this. They actually talk about all of their stuff and air their dirty laundry in front of the children. As if, they won't remember it or they'll rub it off. Children can remember things. I'm one of those people that actually holds on to shit. I've been holding on to stuff since I was, like, from back when I was like 7. That's unhealthy, but that's how I do. So, yeah, there's proof. We can actually remember some stuff. We can hold on to stuff. And quite frankly, then they want to know why we're bitter. Because you just sat there and told me that that's not my real mom. Without even actually telling it to me, you said it to her. And just. This is why I'm in favor of selective breeding. Normally, I wouldn't say stuff like that, but because people have shown that they are more ignorant, more careless, and more completely out there, now either you need to take a damn government licensed parenting test, or we need to have a damn mandated selective breeding process. Rick Perry went about it wrong, but he actually had a point. He actually had a point. Because quite frankly, some people just don't need to have kids. I mean, just no. Because and they're talking about welfare is up and more people on food stamps because they see the damn benefits from even actually mooching off the government. That's why. Normally, I don't talk about politics or religion with people because then it starts up an argument. And you have a long thread that goes on, and then it gets bumped up like 3 months later, and the argument starts up again after everybody's supposedly forgotten about it, and then it just blows up into nothing. And it's fucking stupid, and there's no point. This is why, and then apparently opinions have become that as well. It's like talking about politics or religion. How? How in the hell is that anywhere near close to that? But I need to remember, that is a completely separate rant. It's absolutely just mind-boggling how incredibly freaking vapid some people can be. Yeah, that was the other thing that I wanted to talk about. Just parents in general. I don't know. And then some of these people actually aren't doing it because, well, it's a last resort. They're on their last legs and this is all that they can do. Some of these people aren't even freaking trying. They're doing this simply so they can get a damn check. Each child is a damn check. And then, you know how little of that money actually goes to the benefit of the child? A percentage, like 10% or 20% of it. The rest of it, the rest of it goes to like frivolous crap. And it just frustrates the hell out of me. You should want more. You should want for more. You should want to be something. And that was the thing that pissed me off about growing up, in the hood, where all these just, I'm gonna have to say, well, all these nothing niggas, just absolutely nothing. Don't want for anything. They don't want to better themselves. This shit right here, my nigga, this is where it's at. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna just sit right here and I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna just let life fucking come to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Actually freaking get off your ass and go do something. That's actually been the bane of my existence for like the past 9 freaking years. Almost 10. I've been sitting down just like a leaf in the wind or a candy wrapper in the wind or whatever, just floating around, just doing whatever, And then these past few years, I've just been sitting down, just trying to figure out my life and what I want to do. And now I think I have an idea. Just the stuff that I've been doing on YouTube is, to help me kind of establish myself and kind of maintain myself so I can keep doing audio and everything. It's this, it's trying to actually make some entertaining and maybe even informative things or insightful material that actually get you to think and might even actually impact your day. And I enjoy doing it. Um, I'm surprised at how many international comments that I've actually gotten. I've gotten things that I really need to go to Google Translate for. Um, whether or not that was very helpful or not, I don't know, but it really actually helps. I don't know how this ended up turning into a thank you video, but yeah, I'm going to end it right now because it's 21 minutes. So like I said before, if you found any moment of clarity to actually find some sort of message or some sort of thought provoking topic, please leave it in the comments. Like your opinions on whatever happened, on, any of the things that I mentioned. Wow, I really feel like I've kind of fallen apart there. But there you go. Um, Try to provide a little insight. You know, Feedback is greatly appreciated. And even if you don't comment, just the fact that you actually took time out to watch me, just kind of pull, just just kind of like pull nothing out of the air and try and form it together into like coherent, tangible sentences. Tangible, really? Yeah, just it doesn't matter, just the fact that at least the topic is out there. So just think about it.